I've been waiting a long time for you in this kind of role, in this kind of movie. You know, since 76 or 75,
74.
since 74, Lifeguard.
You've seen their faces 100 times, but can you recognize them now in 2025?
I'm gonna cry because this show has been as long as my career.
Do you remember the iconic stars of the 70s and 80s? Let's flip the nostalgia and test your memory. In reverse, we'll first show you how these legends look today in 2025, and you guess who they are before we reveal their classic look. Score yourself as we go. Let's begin.
Well, the sooner we solve it, the sooner we escape. Phew. I think I'm gonna go check out the murder scene. Spooky. Be careful, okay? I don't think I'm gonna be taking any bang.
Of everything about yourself. I'm unbelievable.
Remember the sparkling blonde who stepped into Farrah Fawcett's shoes as a Charlie's Angel? That is Cheryl Ladd, or Chris Monroe. She was an instant pop culture icon in the late 70s. Moving on to 2025, at 74, she is still glowing with that timeless elegance. An infectious smile coupled with Barone-esque confidence is proof in the pudding that Cheryl's star power knows no bounds. Were you able to figure her out before we took you down memory lane? If La Bamba did anything for you, it was probably making you remember Esai Morales as the temperamental brother of Richie Valens. That emotional performance put him on the radar, and he has not left it since. Esai is 63 years old and now counts among the most respected character actors in Hollywood. The actor is going strong with more roles and still manages to get noticed with his chiseled features and commanding screen presence. So before hitting rewind, did you identify him from the 2025 version?
Were you serious? About the Statue of Liberty?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I mean business.
I'm sorry. Well, the Statue of Liberty, you know. Well, I think you take the 7th Avenue subway. No?
With that raspy voice and larger-than-life personality, she created an indelible spot for herself in 70s entertainment, from Midnight Cowboy to talk shows. Now in 2025, she is 85 and still carries that incomparable sparkle in her eyes that once made her so unforgettable. Her career has spanned decades, and she still imparts depth and wit wherever she goes. That charisma has simply not yet worn away. Did her 2025 look bring in a flash of remembrance? Or did this one stump you?
Six what?
I'm a little over 6'2".
But Victoria's not that tall.
Victoria and all the women, oddly enough, there comes a point when we walk into a room and everything's fine, and then they come into a close-up, and Patrick's got to go like this.
Before binge watching came into being, the show was undoubtedly one of the few that attracted millions of viewers every week to catch Patrick Duffy in the role of Bobby Ewing. During those days, it was the pride and joy of primetime TV. Today at 76, Glenn has aged like fine wine, so tall and handsome, and with his winning style of grinning smile. Whether you know him from Dallas or Step by Step, Glenn's familiar face is impossible to forget. So how good is your memory? Did you spot him before the grand reveal? Her role was something only she could have made truly captivating. It was her first big break, and the 1980s sought that one-of-a-kind power with which she could have the screen to herself. That rasping voice, those eyes that said, "Come hither," and that intense brain were all hard to forget. Now 71 years old, the woman still captures the attention of any place with her charisma. Each word and every gesture draws all eyes in the room. If we say a little slow down, it's only about pace, because that starshine remains. Does that voice echo in your mind when you see the 2025 version of her? Do tell us if you guessed right.
I know it was you.
Okay, you don't know me. I'm Goldie.
Yes, I know you. I know you're Goldie.
I'm an old friend.
Oh, really?
Goldie Hawn shines in Agatha Christie movies with her infectious laughter and radiant energy. She was one of the most dearly cherished actresses of her time, bridging industries from Laugh-In to Overboard. Now aged 80, her golden energy keeps glowing. Her warmth and charm are as ageless as ever, and her admirers continue to cherish this presence forever, etched by time. It is an occasion worth having in 2025 to see her again. Kind of like meeting up with an old buddy whose energy still charges a room. Richard Dean. Anderson never needed some fancy arsenal. Give the guy a paperclip and a busted radio, and he'd save the world before breakfast. As MacGyver, he was the king of 80s kids' daydreams. Wild hair, cooler than you calm, and those I got this eyes. Now, he's 75, still rocking that chill confidence, even if he's ditched the crazy stunts for, I don't know, gardening or something. He's not chasing the Hollywood hustle anymore, but you see that face and instantly think, yep, that's Mac. The smirk, the quiet swagger. It's all still there in 2025. Dude just doesn't age out of being a legend.
First of all, I'm out of practice. And second of all, it takes schooling and, You went to the Yale.
Let's be real. Henry Winkler wasn't just Fonzie, he was the Fonz. The guy didn't just walk into a room, he owned it. One finger snap and everyone froze. Motorcycles, jukeboxes, those cheesy one-liners. He made them iconic on Happy Days. Fast forward to 80, and he's traded leather jackets for something a little more, insurance agent chic. But honestly, the warmth and that goofy, genuine humor, still A+. He's everybody's favorite grandpa now, just as famous for his kindness as his AE. You look at him and get an instant flashback to simpler times, soda shops, and actual good TV.
Scout told me once, when you love somebody, you trade souls with.
You hear that voice and you know it's Sam Elliott. The mustache, the squint. Dude could read a grocery list and it'd sound like a Western showdown. He's been the embodiment of cowboy tough since like forever. At 81, he's still got that no-nonsense, rugged thing going on. Seriously, the guy's face is carved out of American folklore at this point, and time just made him more epic. In 2025, Sam still looks like he could walk into a saloon and everyone would just hush. That's cowboy magic right there.
The child in all people who come up to me because they all grew up with me. So their relationship to my character, to Jamie Summers, to how they knew me the most. I mean, a lot of people love my movies and my television movies and all that, miniseries.
Lindsay Wagner wasn't just the bionic woman. She was the blueprint for smart, strong, heart of gold heroines. She made kicking ass look elegant with a side of actual brains and empathy. Now she's 76, and sci-fi fans still treat her like royalty. She's aged into her role with the same grace and steely resolve she brought to TV back in the day. See her now and it's like, whoa. Television back then was rewriting what heroes look like, and she's still carrying that torch. Timeless, honestly. Let's keep going. More familiar faces you might still recognize.
to, you know.
No, I know, but you know, I'm all perspired and everything.
Well, didn't you take a shower at the club?
I mean, no, because I never...
Diane Keaton redefined screen presence with her quirky charm and unmatched style. Her role in Annie Hall made her an icon, and decades later, she's still turning heads. At 79, she remains a Hollywood staple, known for both her acting chops and unique fashion sense. Her legacy is as strong as ever. Erin Gray was just a force of nature back in the Buck Rogers days, playing Colonel Wilma Deering. She kicked the door open for strong women in sci-fi, when that was, like, unheard of. Made it look easy, too. She's 75 now, and honestly, fans still adore her. That role, total game changer for how women showed up in those stories on TV.
Push. It's pushing, it's shoving. It's shove, 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 shove. Second word is what? It's a small word.
And then there's Sally Struthers, Gloria from All in the Family. Who didn't love her? She was hilarious, always quick with a comeback, and just straight up lovable. She's 78, still has that spark. And yeah, people still talk about her timing. Her character brought this whole messy, real family vibe to TV that hadn't been done before. Icon status, secure.
Hi, darling. Darling, this is Alex. I'm sorry, I've forgotten your last name.
Alex Forrest.
Alex Forrest. This is my husband, Dan.
Michael Douglas? The dude owned the 80s. Wall Street, Fatal Attraction. Just a run of absolute bangers. He's 81 now and honestly hasn't slowed down. No one else juggles being a megastar and having range like he does. I mean, how many actors can do both Gordon Gekko and a guy losing his mind and falling? Not a long list.
Five, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And come on, Barbara Eden as Jeannie. That show was just pure joy. She had this perfect mix of goofy and gorgeous, and people ate it up. She's 94 and still pops up at conventions, waving to fans who probably watched her in reruns with their grandparents. The magic hasn't faded. Kids are still discovering I Dream of Jeannie and falling in love with that glittering, mischievous smile. Some things just stick around, you know?
I'm gonna cry because this show has been as long as my career.
Over a 60-year career span, Shirley has delivered powerful performances. Whatever the role, from Terms of Endearment to Steel Magnolias, she has acted in every gamut of serious drama, farce, and bold characterizations. At 91 years old, she remains one of the most respected glamour personalities in Hollywood. Her passion for telling stories and spiritual energy still shines through every appearance.
Well, it meant a job on Blue Bloods. Well, the director said, you know, maybe you ought to play this guy without a mustache.
Tom Selleck didn't just play a detective. He became the definition of cool in Magnum P.I. That mustache, that charisma, that voice. Now 80, he still holds that classic charm that made him a household name. Whether on TV or in film, Selleck continues to command attention effortlessly.
It looks like you need another shower.
Right.
Kelly McGillis acted with strength, intelligence, and allure in the character of Charlie in Top Gun. At 68, she has retreated into the background, but her role remains iconic. Her chemistry with Tom Cruise became an institution and merits a special place in 80s movie lore.
is ill-advised. Any questions?
Yeah, I got a question. Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Give you the answer to that question, Mr. Bender, next Saturday.
One of the most memorable bad boys in the history of Hollywood was Judd Nelson. John Bender in The Breakfast Club was a symbol of teenage rebellion, and at 66 years of age now, he remains attached to that cult status. His performances speak to all who have ever felt like an outsider. From crime thrillers to heart-wrenching dramas, every actor has portrayed raw intensity. Nick Nolte. His gravelly voice and imposing presence made him a staple in the world of American cinema. Now at age 84, he still remains one of the most unforgettable figures in the industry. He is greatly respected for always choosing roles that were edgy and deep. So how well did your memory hold up? These legendary faces shaped entire generations, and their glow still shines today. Drop your score in the comments. We're watching. If you enjoyed this nostalgia trip, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. More vintage throwbacks are coming your way soon.